I'm not sure what just happened.
It's crazy how one new camper moving in can change the whole vibe.
Some things you can't make up.
In this episode, we are continuing our camping trip, and yes, more unexpected things are going to happen. It is now time to dump the camp potty. The job that nobody wants to do, but it's either that or use the shower house bathroom, which I am not in the mood to do. So here we go.
It's resupply time. My forehead is peeling from the sun and I had zinc oxide on it, so now it's just white peeling craziness. We are here, we're getting supplies, we're getting drinks, we're getting food, we're getting other things, and
we're mostly just soaking up the air conditioning.
I'm looking for coffee with chicory, and I don't think they have it here at Harps. Looked everywhere.
We thought maybe Community Coffee would have it. We don't see it. What is that? Signature blend. It's not looking good.
I'm not sure what just happened. Somehow we always come for a couple things and then we, I think, kind of forget what we're doing and grocery shop like we're home and just get a little bit of everything, and then we have to figure out where to fit it in the camper and what to do with it. So we'll see.
We've been up for like an hour or more and we haven't had coffee yet, so it's definitely coffee time. We brought our chicory that we discovered at the treehouse rental we were staying at, and that's what I'm gonna make.
Weekend is always fun because there's a lot of boat activity on the lake. During the week's pretty calm, but then there's jet skis and pontoons and fishing boats zigzagging, and it's fun to watch them all and see what they're doing.
Excuse all the camping junk behind me. We always meet the coolest people when we camp. We met Mark and Lisa, and they are crawfish farmers from Lafayette, Louisiana. They're so cool. Like, they drove up here in their A-Class. I think they said they went to Mountain View. They took the highway down through Shirley, which was really windy. And they ended up here on Greers Ferry Lake, and they were so shocked that it was so pretty that they kept like campsite hopping, because they could only stay like 1 or 2 nights in a campsite and it was booked, so they would just keep moving down so they could stay longer. But we're hoping it would be so cool in a future episode, somewhere down the road, if you catch us crawfish farming with Mark and Lisa down in Lafayette, because they sent us a video of what it's like. It looks pretty cool. I think we could do it. I think it takes like a lot of upper body strength, and I don't know, like I would have to maybe get over my fear of crawling crawfish, and then maybe the occasional water moccasin that's like in the cage, but it would be awesome to experience that, and they're just super cool people.
Mark told me that he has 2 ponds and there are 50 acres apiece, so 100 acres of crawfish ponds that he pulls the cages from.
We also met Glenn and Julia, who were camping next to us a couple days ago, and they are subscribers and Facebook followers. It's so cool to camp next to them and get to visit with them. And then Larry and Kathy, who are longtime friends and Facebook followers, who we actually met the first time at Old Highway 25, are here camping right down the road, so we've been able to spend some time with them as well. And then of course our usual friends Bob and Diana, who are like family to us at this point. It's been like a really, really social event here. Like Well, part of the problem is when we go for walks, we meet everybody. That's how we met Mark and Lisa. Is we just started talking to them because they were moving campsites, and then before you know it, you're exchanging numbers and becoming friends and planning on going crawfish farming.
Some things you can't make up. So we've been here already for a week. We have a long trip here. We have, I think, 11 days total. We had, like she said, Glenn and Julia, right, on one side, and some other people who are pretty quiet on the other. We're all just sitting here quietly enjoying our lunch yesterday, and Glenn had left.
Glenn had the audacity to leave us.
To leave the site vacant, and you know what that means. You're going to get new neighbors of some kind. And we were sitting here quietly having lunch, and the next camper pulled in. First they brought a boat, and they were blaring music out of their car. I'm talking loud. We're having lunch with the water and the quiet, and it was just blaring music when they pulled up to park their boat. And then they came back with a camper, and this time they were blaring Highway to Hell from the car at full blast for the next, well, that song and some others for, 2 hours as they arrived. And then they left the campsite but left the music going. They had boats and jet skis that they brought, and so those were in the water, the calm water just in front of our site. We're looking at this view. So all of a sudden they attacked by land and by sea, right? So because literally there was just calmness and lake, and then all of a sudden in front of us was their boat and jet ski just going back and forth along the bluffs, back and forth, screaming and yelling and doing donuts and all this stuff. And then on the land side, they're blaring their music whether they're there or not. Even when they left the site, they're just making all this ruckus. And so it went from this peaceful, calm moment to absolute chaos as they attacked by land and by sea. It just turned into crazy fest immediately. So it's just one of those things that happens when you're camping close to a lot of people.
It's crazy how one new camper moving in can change the whole vibe of the lake shore here. Julia, I know you're going to watch this. I was going to text you late last night, but I decided that I was just going to quit whining, because then they hung this massive LED light high up in the tree, and it lit up like all of our campsites. It was so bright. The tent people who were camping next to them, I don't even know how they slept last night. But I decided to save you the text message, but I'm telling you now that we really miss you camping next to us. They seem to have friends down in a camper that's like two or three campers down. There's a whole bunch of them down there too, and they spent last night, like late into the night, they were down there like grilling out, and they were loud. Which, listen, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with large groups or grilling out or anything like that, but it's when people show up to a peaceful place and they start blaring music and they're really, really loud. And we're all camping close. I mean, we understand we're in a campground. We're not dispersed camping. But you have to kind of like read the room when you get here. And when everyone else is just chilling, then you kind of need to show up and chill too. And the guy next to them in the fifth wheel, like, I don't even know how he was sleeping last night.
I mentioned by land and sea, and the jet ski part of this equation was nuts. Like, you've seen teenagers who get on jet skis and who just want to push it as far as they can. If you're familiar with this part of the lake, there's all these bluffs, solid rock. We were convinced he was going to run it into the bluffs. Like, it was so crazy. He was trying to do so many tricks in such a small space and just running wild. And he actually, not only, I've seen people fall off a lot, he actually fell off and turned the entire jet ski upside down. And it was floating and running upside down for a long time while he tried to get back to it and flip it over. But he was getting so close to these bluffs with the ledges that stick out that you can't see, and we were just waiting to see if he actually crashed it into the rock.
I know some of you say that you only do like national forest camping or dispersed camping because you don't like to camp near people. For us, camping is social. Like, we love meeting everybody and stuff. But yesterday, it was like hot out here, and then crazy people pulled up next door, and I was starting to understand why some of you only camp in the National Forest alone. We left and we went to Harps, and enjoyed the air conditioning and grocery shopping for a while. And then when I came back, I felt much calmer. Partly because they were down at that other campsite partying by then. But I was starting to understand you guys. Okay, y'all, we got new swim shirts. Tell us what you think. Walmart. What were they, $7?
Yeah.
$7. They're not actually swim shirts. They're athletic shirts. But they're 100% polyester, which is terrible for you. But they are quick dry. So now I don't have to worry about burning my neck and the top of my arms.
Other than swim shirts, we are trying to remove a lot of polyester from our life and switch to cotton and linen now that we're learning about how that's better for you. So we are trying to switch that. But swim shirts, it's really hard to wear cotton or linen and it just stays wet and disgusting.
Yeah, people used to swim in wool. You know, all those old swimsuits. My feet are burning. Those old swimsuits were all wool, and I don't know. Like, do you think wool gets saturated and
People wear wool socks hiking because of the fact that it removes moisture away from your skin and stuff. So maybe it's the same idea.
I wonder what happens when you just soak a wool swimsuit in, like, I can't imagine the itchy factor of that. But anyway, these were on sale because it's end of summer, and they're actually men's shirts. We got them out of the men's section, but they fit great. And we got the kids some too. So now we're all matchy-matchy out here on the lake. It's raining. After days of extreme heat, this is a nice break. It has been over 100 degrees for a couple days here at camp, and it finally cooled off. This morning was absolutely perfect for morning coffee. In fact, Timothy actually put on long pants this morning because the wind was so chilly.
Yeah, it was a big change to go from the mornings being really hot to needing socks and pants because it was 68 and breezy on the water, so it was pretty nice. We were gonna walk in the rain.
The plan was to walk while it wasn't raining, but now it's starting to rain again, so we'll just see how bad this gets.
We are just so happy it's not 110 degrees, that the rain is fine. It's like 68 or 70 degrees, feels amazing.
It is so nice to be able to walk in cool weather and not melt on the pavement.
You know how you know when it's cooled off? We use coconut oil for cooking. It's in a tub, and if you know about coconut oil, it gets liquid above like 75 or 80, somewhere in there. And then it only is solid if it's cool enough. And so usually if the air's running at night, it'll turn solid. But now we have the awning open, all fresh air in there, and it is solid. The coconut oil is solid, which means it is very cool outside.
So you can rate the outside comfort level by the condition of your coconut oil.
You're supposed to keep the camera above croc level because I asked you if I should change shoes if I'm going to be on camera, and you said no, so there will be no filming below the knees. Seriously. I would have put on shoes had I known.
We're just going to embrace the yellow Crocs. I don't know how many times we've told y'all that he needs to get new Crocs because he walks around in these neon yellow Crocs. I don't even care anymore. Embrace the Crocs. It's your new motto. We'll put that on a t-shirt.
Life's short, wear yellow Crocs.
This is D20. Nice little drop off over there. Good view.
That's the bouncy ball incident site, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Our son had a little bouncy ball and he was playing with it over there, and years ago he didn't realize how much it bounces, and he bounced it and that thing just pinged right off the campsite down the grass. I told him not to run for it because it went right over the cliff. So Unfortunately, we littered, but there is a bouncy ball in the bottom of Greers Ferry Lake. What is that, like 200 feet down? 100. There's a bouncy ball. There's no telling actually what's in the bottom. I've often wondered. Probably don't want to know. But there's at least a bouncy ball and it's ours. And we'll never see it. No one will ever see that ball.
I was actually swimming off the cliffs in that deep water yesterday, and there was something we thought was a snake or turtle head. It looked like one, so we were trying to rule that out, see if it was a living thing or not. So I was throwing a rock in that direction, see if it would scare and go down. After I threw the rock that had been sitting happily on the dry cliff shelf and it sunk, I realized that that rock will be at the bottom 100 feet down of that lake, I suppose, until the end of time, because there is no way anybody's ever going to see or know about that, or the lake's going to be drained, and so I guess it will be there for all the time. It's weird to think that that rock will be there always and forever.
Finally. Isn't that the guy who's wreaked havoc on the campground for 3 days?
Oh yeah.
Gosh, sometimes, well, I won't say it. We don't know who he is.
To everyone, their own opinion. For our opinion, there are certain things that drive us crazy, and these people have been driving us crazy, and we're glad that they're leaving.
Loose dogs, loud music, way too many vehicles and boats for one campsite, parking like in the road, just all those things that are not good campground etiquette. Like, I don't know, we explained all that. We're not going to go into all that big rant again, but thankfully, well, it's over.
And we saw rangers talk to them about these things, and they just laugh and continue to do whatever they wanted to do and ignore even the authority. It was just that kind of person, so.
Yeah, anyway, it's over. Ooh, I like this campsite. This is a nice one. Nice rail. D9.
The rain is intensifying.
Yeah, the camera is definitely getting wet. You can't really swim from this site. You have to walk. I mean, you could. You can tell there's a little path. Can y'all see the path? Actually, it might be kind of nice.
We've done it.
We've swam from here?
Yes. We've parked here and used this goat path down here and then swam along looking at the boat launch ramp.
Is that when we had our camp? We didn't tent camp here.
No, it was either during the day or we were, I don't remember. I just know we've used these paths and we've swam in this shallow water by the launch.
The rain's getting heavier, so we really need to go.
It's interesting how the concrete isn't long enough for most people's campers. It's long enough for ours, but it changes over to asphalt and most people have to be front on one and back on the other surface, which is uneven.
I'm gonna give y'all one chance to guess what's for lunch today. If you know what's for lunch today, then you've been here before and you need to put it in the comments section.
Hints.
Stop, no hints, no hints. But this time I have a variation, and I do a corn tortilla melted cheese hot melt thing with what you're supposed to put in the comments section. I did brush my hair this morning, and it is clean, but sheesh. There's like a bucket behind me that has extension cords in it and my camera stuff. Pay no attention to what's behind me.
Did you move the banana peel trash bag only to put it behind you again?
Well, it was hanging on the trailer, and I thought it looked even worse.
Now it's behind you on the table.
Last night, we, after we changed sites, we stayed here till dark, and then we gathered all of our things and went over to a friend's house. We have friends in town. I think we've told you all that. There's something on my screen. Oh, thank you. We have friends in town, and they're not even home right now. they're traveling too. But we went over there and cooked dinner and showered, and I used the Wi-Fi, and I got some work done. I uploaded last week's video. Go watch it. Camping in the rain. Again. Part 452. We always seem to camp in the rain. We get rained on all the time, which is fine. I actually love rain. Except the one time at JFK.
But the content in yesterday's video was actually Monday's rain, and then we had yesterday a complete rain day. It was started overnight and rained solid until 5 p.m. So we had to hook up the trailer and move it over to the new site in the rain, and it was cold rain.
Okay, here's what's wild is that we camped through the hottest day of the year, 116 degree heat index. We were out here in pure survival mode, wondering why in the world we're camping when we have a house with AC. It was hot. We swam a lot. And then it cools off and it rains, and the rain droplets when they hit you are so cold, like freezing. And we're out here now in jeans, long pants. Timothy has on a long sleeve swim shirt because that's all he has that's long sleeve. I don't even have long sleeves. Yeah, thanks, babe. It's just amazing how quickly weather can change. And now it's overcast. The overcast is really nice because this campsite we're at now has like no tree cover at all. So this is definitely not a place that you would want to be in the summer. We've seen a lot of people camping in this particular site. What is this, D something?
Yes.
What did you do?
Tried to change chairs to be matchy. I wiped this one down and the one you're in for the dew with a towel. This one did not get wiped down from the dew, and so I just realized my booty's wet.
Oh dear. You're in like quick dry pants though.
But test that out.
When we went to our friend's house, I filled up my travel cup with ice and water because they have the luxury of ice at their place, which is not what we have here in the camper. And it's still frozen this morning. You got water on the end of my nose. Do you have ice?
That's all I have left. I don't really have any water left, just a big chunk of ice.
Also, you're supposed to actually be occupying your campsite if you have it reserved. So there's a site down here, that Timothy said has been reserved for like several days, online for several days, but no one's been there. It just sits empty. So people book them and they don't show up, and you're not supposed to do that. You need to cancel it. Just cancel the site. It's $10 to cancel so someone else can actually have it, because I'm sure someone would have enjoyed it. Also, there's a lot of people who just bring their campers down here, and they don't actually stay in their campers. Like, they bring it down several days early for the weekend or whatever. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to actually be at your camper. This is not a storage facility. There's been a fifth wheel and pontoon here the entire 12 days that we've been here, and we've seen the guy one time. He's not there. He's just like storing the camper and the pontoon here. He's not actually camping. Waterfront too. Someone else would have liked that campsite. You're not supposed to be just like storing your camper here. You're supposed to actually be camping.
Wow. Anything else you want to tell everybody that ticks you off?
Actually, yes. I do have something else. The fire pit is not a trash can. Our fire pit right now has plastic bottles, beer cans, dog hair, paper plates, but those coated paper plates that don't actually burn. The fire pit is not a trash can. And y'all know that we have interviewed the Corps of Engineers 3 times now on this channel, and we have talked about high water that comes into campsites. We have toured a lock and dam, and we've toured the Greers Ferry Dam, and we're on our way to tour Bull Shoals Dam. We've talked to the Corps of Engineers a lot because some people get upset because they think the Corps of Engineers should do this or that, or why don't all these sites have water? Why do they only have electric? And part of the budget that the Corps of Engineers has, it's federal budget, part of that budget has to go toward cleaning up fire pits. They actually pay a contractor, and I believe it's the same contractor who cleans the bathrooms, but they have to walk around and clean out every single fire pit. So when people wonder why doesn't the Corps invest money in this or invest money in that, well, some of their dollars are going toward cleaning up and maintaining junk that people leave behind. I think I told y'all that we're in a really sunny spot. Look at this pitiful scene right here. We are all crowded into the tiny bit of shade provided by the overhead awning.
Soon we'll have to trade for the tree shade when this runs away.
Tree shade over there?
Yeah, because this shade's running out.
We're gonna have to sit, that's like an extra parking spot, so we're gonna have to sit there. It was overcast this morning and it was fine. But then the clouds rolled away and now we just have sun. We even still have a fire going.
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna sit over there.
I started the fire when it was cool and cloudy, and then once the fire got going good, the sun came out, and now no one wants to sit by it, so that's the way it goes.
It's just over there by itself.
Sad, like.
All that work.
Oh well, we can watch, you know, the smell of smoke makes it feel like camping, so that's good.
There's a little path to the water from our campsite. Here's our campsite. There's Timothy. And then there's a path down this way. We're gonna check it out.
This morning was overcast and cool, but it's just warm enough now, especially with no shade around the camper, that we've been, as we showed you, hiding around trying to find the shade. So I think it would feel good to get wet a little bit today. Warming up enough to get swimming weather.
Timothy went for it. Woo! But I'm not going all the way in. Waist deep is as good as it's gonna get today. He's a little crazy though. Aren't you cold?
It's chilly, but it's nice.
Don't you get that good hat wet?
I won't.
Yep, not going that deep. Plus I have to make lunch here in a minute. Because today is actually leaving day and we're gonna store the camper for a little while. Until our next trip. So there's like a lot of cleaning that has to be done before we can even go home. I told him he looks like an otter. All I can see is this little head swimming around. It's actually very pleasant out here. This weekend is Labor Day weekend though. And the crowds are really starting to come in. I feel like it's always the signal to leave when people start pulling in their swim trunks and cowboy boots. Now he's getting waves. It has been said that travel teaches toleration, and we've always found that to be true. Sometimes that means patiently tolerating our camping neighbors just long enough for us to rejoice when they finally check out. But more than toleration, we've learned that half the fun of travel is the unexpected. Whether it's adapting to overwhelming heat, cozying up when cold rain falls the next day, or moving campsites only to discover you've got about 5 square feet of shade. Travel keeps us on our toes. I love the way it pushes us out of our comfort zones, challenging us to adapt and pivot. And in the end, those very moments, the surprises, the inconveniences, and the challenges become the stories we treasure most. Because travel isn't just about where you go, it's about who you become along the way. If you watched until the end, put code word PIVOT in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.